Hey, what's up, guys? It's me. Today, Nandipha Magudumana appeared in court in Bloemfontein for the purposes of bail application, right? And obviously, she argued the obvious that she was kidnapped. Listen to this.
Out for the first time in an affidavit read out during her bail application. Magudumana claims that she was scared, defenseless and helpless. She says that she had no one to report due to the threats made against her. We speak now to Newsroom Africa's Linda Mnisi, who is standing by. And so for the very first time, Linda Mnisi, ever since she started appearing in court, she broke down, in particular when details about her children were read out from that affidavit.
Yes, indeed, Dudwe. Sobbing, Nandipha Magudumana sat in the dock while her affidavit was being read out in court, detailing essentially her personal circumstances, as this is her bail application, but also getting into how she left South Africa, which is a sharp contrast really to the display of affection that we saw earlier this month when she appeared alongside Thabo Bester. You would have seen in the dock how they were holding hands at that particular time, which is a sharp contrast really to what now she details before this court in a bid to attain her freedom. Quite interesting that she now gives us a brief background on how she left South Africa, because that has always remained a mystery, right? Even when she took to the Bloemfontein High Court, she just told the court that on the 13th of April, she was in Tanzania when she was arrested. This time around, she goes back to March the 17th, and when she left South Africa and the circumstances that surrounded her departure from South Africa. Interestingly, she tells the court that she was forced by Thabo Bester, who is accused number 5 in this matter. She was helpless, she was defenseless, and had no one to report to due to the threats that she says were being made by Thabo Bester. She had no idea where they were going when she was forced into that particular vehicle. Let's take a listen to that affidavit.
I nevertheless wish to provide the following context to how I departed South Africa. 8.1. On or about the 17th of March 2023, I was in company of accused number 5. 8.2. I was instructed and commanded by accused number 5 to get into a vehicle and leave the premises to a destination unknown to me at the time. 8.3. I refused and wanted an explanation, but he forced me into a vehicle. 8.4. I succumbed to the pressure due to the threats he directed at me. 8.5. I was defenseless, helpless, and with no one to report to at that time. 8.6. I complied with his instructions and was taken out of the country against my will. It should read 8.7. At all material times, I had no control over the situation because I was scared of the threats made by accused number 5. 8.8. I submit that I did not voluntarily depart from the Republic of South Africa as demonstrated above. And 8.9. In any event, I had no reason to leave the Republic of South Africa.
Now, that's quite interesting. Quite compelling, only if we did not know this.
The nature of these offenses induced a sense of shock to the community. It was a well-planned operation. A convicted rapist and murderer was back in the community. D. There was a total disrespect towards the dignity of the 2 bodies that they claimed. The second body, Katlego Bereng's family, was heard and still has more questions than answers. E. These crimes jeopardize the public confidence in the criminal justice system. The persons who were to ensure that a dangerous person, Bester, was locked up, was put back on the streets because of corruption. F. Corruption is a huge problem in our country, and hardly a day went by when the enormous proportion of corruption is not in the media. G. The applicant has no respect for the justice system, as previously mentioned. H. As a result of these crimes that were committed, a parliamentary committee investigated these crimes. Paragraph 9. There is a substantial incentive for the applicant to evade a trial. 10. I have had the opportunity to scrutinize the affidavit by the applicant and wish to state the following. 10.1. At paragraph 7.1.5 of the affidavit, I also scrutinized the supplementary statement by one Natsai Michelle Chibaya. I have since established that Natsai Michelle Chibaya is a Zimbabwean citizen who obtained permanent residence in the Republic of South Africa only in July 2018. Her residential address on the system of the Department of Home Affairs is 31 Kwela Close, 16 Myven Avenue, Datlasville, Johannesburg. The fact that this person has been staying in this address only from January 2022 is concerning. I wish to state further that accused 9 is a Zimbabwean who was employed by the applicant first as a gardener and later promoted to a security guard. A black Mercedes-Benz, which was rented by the applicant, which she never returned, and which was later found abandoned in Zimbabwe when she was still at large. This is evident that the applicant has close ties with Zimbabwe. Her friendship with this person she states she will stay with is concerning. 10.2, at paragraph 7.4 of her affidavit, she states, amongst others, she was practicing as a medical doctor until her arrest. As stated above at 7.1g, the applicant was suspended from practicing as a medical doctor in December 2021. If she had been practicing as she alleged, this was unlawful. Paragraph 10.3, at paragraph 8.2, I categorically dispute this allegation. And this was the allegation that she was sort of kidnapped, put in a car, and she found herself in Tanzania. Through thorough investigation, I have established that the applicant was the one who drove from Johannesburg to fetch accused 5 from KwaZulu-Natal after his escape. As stated at paragraph 7.1e above, the applicant and accused 5 rented out a house together. They are both signatories to the lease agreement. My apology. The two, that being applicant and accused 5, were spotted shopping together by the media in March 2023. The applicant and accused 5 traveled together and stayed in Cape Town, where, amongst others, the applicant wrote out a prescription for accused 5 and visited a salon together. Looking at how the applicant is involved and the role she played in the escape of accused 5 as outlined above, there is no piece of evidence that she was at any stage forced and or threatened in any manner. Prior to the escape of accused 5, the applicant stayed in one of the boutique hotels in Bloemfontein in March 2022 and April 2022 in what looks like facilitation of the escape. The applicant is currently detained in Kroonstad, while accused 5 is detained in Pretoria. Since her arrest, no case was opened of kidnapping. The applicant and accused 5 has been appearing before this court on more than one occasion. They appear showing there is affection to each other. They were seen holding hands and smiling to each other. See example, a picture of them during the last appearance on 8 August 2023, attached as Annexure B. Paragraph 10.4. At paragraph 8.3, 8.4, 8.5, 8.6, 8.7, and 8.8. As appears from 10.3 above, the applicant had been freely moving around in KZN, Gauteng, and the Western Cape. There is a border post between South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zambia to reach Tanzania. The applicant had ample time to alert any of the authorities about the so-called forced removal. The estimated distance between South Africa and Tanzania is 3,400 kilometers. This is all I can declare, and it is commissioned, Your Worship, and signed at Bloemfontein today, the 20th.
Wow. That is mind-blowing, guys. There is no way a sober judge is going to give her a bail. Did you observe that the NPA prosecutor made mention of her appearance in the bail hearing, which is weeks ago? And I did a video on that where I was saying, look at how she looks at the man. I remember very well pointing out to the smile in her face. I said she was behaving like a lovey-dovey, a teenage girl who is madly in love with somebody. Now, and that does have an impact in her hearing. I did mention that there in that video, but nevertheless, the point is that here we are today, and tomorrow will be the deliverance of the verdict, whether she gets the bail or not. I will be shocked if the judge gives her a bail and allow her to go out. But nevertheless, you will obviously tell me, do you think that she should get bail? For me, as the NPA argued, in my view, successfully, I'm saying this in advance, because I'll be very, very shocked, having listened to the entire argument, if she would be allowed to get a bail. Why? Because she's a flight risk, and she clearly is connected in high and visible places. There are people within our legal system, that is the law enforcers, the SAPs and securities, who would be willing to allow her to leave. Remember, she has not even declared how she got to where she was arrested in the first place. She was arrested in Tanzania. How did she get there? She has not revealed that. And that on its own, for me, is grounds not to give her bail, because that means she's got abilities or access to enable her, that would make it conducive or easy for her to disappear and vanish off the face of the earth. And as they have argued, it is much more, she has much more to lose by staying in South Africa. You're looking at so many lawsuits. One is for 15 million, one is for 1.2 million, and so on and so forth, that are going to come against her from private individuals. And should she be found guilty of the charges that are facing her, she obviously is going to jail for a long time. That on its own is a motivating factor for her to dish the justice and disappear. Why wouldn't she disappear? I think the judge will find for the NPA. For me, they've made a compelling, very, very strong case in their argument over here. You tell me what you think, and if you want the full video, it's gonna be on the description below of this video. You can check it out there. I'll put the link there in the description below. You tell me what you think. You think that she should be allowed bail, or she should just be kept in jail until the entire hearing? Because the hearing will be, I think it's starting in October, if I'm not mistaken. Okay guys, that's it. Like the video. Don't forget to like the video. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. Have a lovely one. See you in the next video. Cheers. Bye.